Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. The UAP Disclosure Act is must-pass legislation. That's the sentiment issued by Marik von Rennenkampff. This is somebody I've talked about before. He's a former Obama administration appointee to the United States Department of Defense, as well as he served as an analyst with the United States Department of State's Bureau of International Security and Nonproliferation. He is always writing excellent commentaries on this. He's obviously someone who's very much in favor of UFO disclosure, and he's tired of it, just like a lot of us. And he wrote this excellent piece again, in the Hill opinion piece, and I'm going to talk about that today. And I, of course, agree with him. I've talked about this before, about this UAP Disclosure Act. Of course, it was supposed to be included in the National Defense Authorization Act of 2024, but then it got gutted because some of the puppets in the House who received campaign contributions from the military-industrial complex gutted it. That was, they didn't want to include that. Of course, that UAP Disclosure Act would provide, would lead us eventually to disclosure, to provide the public with the truth with regard to reverse engineering and crash retrieval programs that are right now kept secret from the public. So because of the power of the defense contractors and the money that they have and the stakes that are at play here, there's just people in government, in the United States government, there's certain people that will, they just take legal bribes to make sure that this act doesn't make it into the National Defense Authorization Act at all. Or if it does, the gutted versions. And as I've talked about in recent shows, it's not going. Mitch McConnell, the Senate Minority Leader, apparently he's the one who put the whammy on it this time. It was supposed to be included in the National Defense Authorization Act for 2025, and now it's not. Well, it's not a done deal yet. The National Defense Authorization Act for next year it's not been voted on yet. But as far as anyone knows, this UAP Disclosure Act is not going to be included in it. And apparently that's because of Mitch McConnell's meddling. And of course, Mitch McConnell, obviously he receives some funding from the campaign funding from the military-industrial complex over the years, even though he's supposed to be retiring. But that's what we've heard. Initially, we heard that it was Rand Paul who was responsible. But then he said it wasn't his team said it's not him, and then according to reporting from Christopher Sharp, it was apparently Mitch McConnell was involved. But now in this new opinion piece, Rennenkampff makes it clear that this is very important legislation and it should be included included as part of the National Defense Authorization Act for 2025. And we're going to go through some of this opinion piece and talk about it. It says here, We'll go down a few paragraphs. It says, last month, Kirk McConnell, a recently retired 37-year veteran professional staff member on the Congressional Armed Services and Intelligence Committees, confirmed publicly that whistleblowers provided first-hand testimony to Congress alleging the existence of ultra-secret programs that retrieve and seek to reverse engineer advanced craft of unknown or non-human origin. McConnell is not alone. He joins Senator Marco Rubio, Vice Chair of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, former House Intelligence Committee member Representative Mike Gallagher, and ex-intelligence official David Grush, who have all stated publicly that individuals with first-hand knowledge have confirmed the existence of such efforts to Congress or to the internal watchdog that oversees America's spy agencies. Such remarkable statements provide important context for what is arguably the most extraordinary legislation ever proposed in Congress. Yes, I have to agree that it is the most extraordinary evidence ever proposed in Congress. I mean, nothing else really compares. I mean, we're talking about the truth of this situation with regard to UFOs, that we are not alone. We are not alone in the universe. What story could be bigger than that, actually, when you really think about it? That legislation was introduced by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Mike Rounds, Democrat and Republican, respectively. The Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena Disclosure Act defines non-human intelligence technologies of unknown origin and legacy program. As characterized in the Bipartisan Disclosure Act, the legacy program refers to any endeavors to collect, exploit, or reverse engineer technologies of unknown origin or examine biological evidence of living or deceased non-human intelligence. The term non-human intelligence appears 24 times throughout the 64-page legislation. I just want to stop there and just think about that. Think about this legislation, a bipartisan legislation that's talking about non-human intelligence, technologies of unknown origin, it's just, I mean, and we're still playing this stupid game. The public, for the most part, does not know. I mean, there's people in the UFO community who see what's going on here. Obviously, some of these people in Congress understand that this is real, that there's something here, and that there is a cover up, and that that the government has been, the Pentagon has been retrieving these crashed objects and trying to reverse engineer them for decades, but yet. You'd think this would be a bigger story, and the press just doesn't see, the mainstream media just doesn't, I just don't think it does a good job here. I mean, it never has done a good job with this. It's just not doing what it should be doing. It's incredible to me. This is the biggest story of all time, and the fact that you have all these people in Congress that are pushing legislation that says words like that. I mean, obviously, if there was nothing to it, they would not be doing this. They know there's something to it. A lot of these people, not all the people in Congress, but some of these people in Congress understand completely that this is true and that there has been a cover-up and that disclosure needs to happen. Anyway, continuing, it says the Disclosure Act would also require the United States government to take possession of any and all recovered UFOs and biological evidence of non-human intelligence transferred to private defense contractors. In an extraordinary exchange with rounds on the Senate floor, Schumer stated that multiple credible sources have alleged that elements of the United States government have illegally withheld information on UFOs from Congress. Of equal importance, key members of the Senate Intelligence Committee, in tandem with other seemingly credible sources, have indicated that some of America's rivals may have also retrieved technologies of unknown origin. Yeah, of course, some of our rivals. We've heard stories of this, that China and Russia are doing the same thing we've been doing, and of course, the reason that it's all a secret by all these countries is because they're all trying to get the upper hand on each other. That's what it's all about. Anyway, continuing, it says, if, for example, China and Russia have recovered such highly advanced technology that profound geopolitical implications, including enormous risks to global security and stability, must be addressed proactively and without delay. At the same time, according to investigative reporter Michael Schellenberger, a new unnamed whistleblower provided a detailed report to Congress describing a secret government program to detect, quarantine, and transfer observations of UFOs by the military's most advanced sensors to a secret database. Dubbed Immaculate Constellation, the alleged program serves simultaneously as a master repository of radar, infrared, satellite, and other UFO observations from sensitive sensor platforms, as well as an internal security process for keeping such data outside of normal military and intelligence communications channels. Yeah, okay, of course, that Immaculate Constellation, what it sounds like to me, and I've talked about this before, it seems like it's a catch and kill program. Basically, in 2017, when those Pentagon videos were leaked, the Immaculate Constellation was birthed. And the reason it was birthed was because they wanted to make sure that the really, really interesting and really anomalous cases were not reported to. They wanted to keep them undercover. They didn't want those stories to get out to the press. They didn't want those things getting out. So they made sure that. No organization like, say, something like Arrow would ever get their hands on something like that and somehow end up getting leaked to the public. So that's what that's all about. Anyway, continuing, it says, if ultra-sensitive UFO data is indeed isolated and sequestered in such a secret database, it may, for example, explain how the Pentagon's UFO Analysis Office can plausibly claim that it has received very little truly anomalous data. Yes, exactly. At the same time, virtually every former living president, along with a bipartisan cohort of former CIA chiefs, ex-directors of national intelligence, and top military officials, has made astounding statements about UFOs in recent years. Former CIA Director John Brennan, for example, stated in late 2020 that a different form of life may be behind recent military UFO incidents. 6 months later, the former Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe said the UFOs exhibit technologies that we don't have and, frankly, that we are not capable of defending against. Yeah, I always thought Ratcliffe's comments were really, really interesting. I mean, they were very compelling. You don't really usually hear something like that from a direct director of national intelligence to make a statement like that. And also, I thought John Brennan, but I think John Brennan, his comments here, I don't think he's being truthful. I think he knows more than he's saying here. He's just saying, he stated that a different form of life may be behind recent military, what do you talk about? Maybe behind recent military UFO incidents. I mean, these beings have been behind the military UFO incidents since at least 1947. Probably earlier than that. Actually, probably since World War II with the Foo Fighter reports. These people know, and this is what's going on here, folks. This is some sort of a slow disclosure process. I'm starting to think. I said this a long time ago, and I just think that sometimes that's what this is. I mean, they're just slowly spoon feeding it to you. Like you're a baby sitting in a high chair, and you're gaga. Yeah. John Ratcliffe said this 2 years ago. Maybe in 2 more years they'll give you some more num. They think we're all freaking idiots when we have the evidence that I've been showing on this channel for over 6 months. But anyway, I'm gonna get myself upset here, so I better just get back to this opinion piece. Anyway, continuing, it says, moreover, a series of brazen incursions around sensitive military facilities, including nuclear missile silos by objects exhibiting seemingly advanced capabilities, has left the United States government thoroughly baffled. Notably, by displaying bright flashing lights and flying in various formations, these objects are operating with seemingly brazen impunity around key military assets. Regardless of the nature of these incursions, be they bizarrely theatrical foreign intelligence gathering operations or otherwise, Congress must demand answers from the military and intelligence community. With the House and Senate both slated to conduct UFO-related hearings in November, Congress has its work cut out for it. At a bare minimum, the sweeping government transparency and disclosure measures mandated by the Disclosure Act make it must-pass legislation. And with that said, I totally agree with Marik von Rennenkampff in that regard. Yes, it is must-pass legislation, because you know what? They should just do it now, because, like I've been pointing out over and over and over again, I know, like I'm really, this whole podcast here, it's not that big. I don't got a lot of subscribers. I got under 5,000 on YouTube and just over 8,000 on Spotify, right? So, and I don't know, there's other podcasts. I have subscribers on some other platforms as well, but I'm not sure what that number is. But that's where I'm at. And a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't know the proof that has been presented yet. I mean, it's been talked about a little bit on News Nation, but of course you had dissenting voices like what's his face, Ben Hansen, who I talk about all the time. You have people out there. Jeremy Corbell didn't give it any credence. Unfortunately, it's like, again, like I feel like there's some kind of there are a lot of people. I'm starting to really think this. I know the people have been telling me this for a while, right? Other people, and I just keep saying no, that's not I don't believe that. But now I'm starting to change my mind a little bit. On that. I think there's a concerted effort to do a slow disclosure push. They don't want people to look at the evidence. That's the proof that shows that there's actual alien creatures here. They just want to slowly leak it out, drip it out to the world in a slow fashion, in baby steps. That's what they want to do. That's what it seems like to me. And I think there's a lot of people involved in this, even a lot of the people within the UFO community, people with whom a lot of us trust. And that's unfortunate. But you know what? What are you gonna do? I have no power, right? I have nothing. I got no money. I got nothing. All I have is this. All I have is this little channel here, and this is all I could do. I mean, there's some other people out there pushing this and trying to alert the world to the reality of the situation, that there's no more debates. That's it. It's over. You know, as I've been stating for a long time. I mean, of course, a lot of us already knew this a long time ago, right? Long before this proof raised its head, this Las Vegas alien stuff, right? A lot of us knew it. This, though, provides that absolute proof that we could show to the world that says, look, it's over, man. There's something here. Forget about it, right? But it seems like that's not the way they want to handle this. There are forces out there. That don't want things to be done that way. They want to do this slow thing. Oh, who knows? Maybe it has something to do with making money. I don't know. Maybe they think Maybe there's some people out there in the UFO community who believe that, hey, if we just keep milking this thing out for a long time and keep it a mystery, right? Maybe they think they'll get more money out of it. I don't know. I don't know. I try to think through this a lot, and I can't figure it out for the life of me. I've stated months and months ago, when Scott Roeder, the crime scene reconstruction expert, first presented to me the evidence that basically proves we're not alone, that shows without a doubt that video actually captures alien creatures in it, right? When he actually showed me how he was able to prove that, right? How he's able to make that determination. When that was presented to me, right? I was stunned, right? Because I realized that, oh my God, we're going to be able to prove to the world now that this is real. There's going to be no more arguments about it. And when I presented it to people I know, some friends and family, who didn't believe, some of which who never really gave this much merit, this whole idea that there's extraterrestrial or non-human intelligent presence on Earth, they accepted it. They actually accepted it. They accepted it. Their world was, they were shocked a little bit, right? But they got over it and they just continue with their lives. I just don't believe this, that a lot of people aren't going to be able to accept it. But yet, we're still being lied to. We're still being gaslighted. It just continues, and it's just so tiring. It's so tiring. It's an injustice. It's just a gigantic injustice as far as I'm concerned, because there are so many people over the decades, like I've stated many times before, who have been affected by this and then who end up getting ridiculed, and that's just not fair to them. It's not fair that people get ridiculed over having an encounters or with these aliens themselves or seeing UFOs, and then they get ridiculed and told that they're crazy or that they're lying. When the reality is that these things are real and they do happen, and that's just so unfair. And that's why that's the one of the biggest reasons in my mind this needs to come to an end. The biggest reason, of course, I believe, is because I think the scientific community, the entire scientific community, needs to be studying this. But they don't want to do that because they're more interested in all these countries, not only the United States, but Russia, China, and I'm sure others. They're secretly, studying these crafts that they recover that crash, and they're all trying to reverse engineer them just so they could destroy each other. Use that knowledge that they get from them to destroy each other. That's what it seems like to me. And again, some of these other people in the UFO community, I know, in their minds, right? They think that they think this is the way it should be done. That it should be this slow process where people are spoon-fed like they're like a little baby sitting in a high chair. That's how they think it should be done. It's okay for them to know, but it's not okay for the rest of the world to know. I just drives me crazy. I don't like it. Anyway, moving on, I want to talk about some of the recent Spotify polls that I've conducted. Okay, for the episode Sheehan, Mantis people distressed about state of humanity / Roeder should testify before Congress, I asked this question: should a Senate or House committee invite crime scene reconstruction expert Scott Roeder to testify about the Vegas alien video? So far, there's 44 votes with 25 days left. 11 people, or 25%, say no, while 33 people, or 75%, say yes. I say yes, of course. I agree with the majority on this one because this would end this debate. I mean, if they were to bring in Scott Roeder to testify before Congress and he was to make a presentation on all the anomalies that are found in that Kenmore family video, right? And they also make a presentation on the totality of the evidence, the 911 call, the police reports, all of it, right? Some of the testimony from the family members. This would end this debate. I mean, and then the Congress would be able to bring in people from the Pentagon and have them answer questions. Say, you don't know anything about this, right? I mean, this would end this whole debate. I mean, there would be disclosure. I mean, if you were to bring Scott Roeder in to testify, that's basically disclosure. Then we could get by all this. We could get through all of this. We don't have to play these games anymore. And then you don't even have to worry about UAP Disclosure Act legislation. You're going to put the Pentagon in a position where they're going to finally have to tell the truth. I mean, what are they going to say? They don't know anything about this stuff, right? What are they going to say? And plus, on top of it, you'd prove to the world, right? If you put it on a platform like that in Congress, where someone's sitting in Congress testifying about that video, it ends the debate. So I think, of course, yes. Okay, for the episode docu-series The Manhattan Alien Abduction premieres on Netflix despite lawsuit and controversy, I asked this question. What do you believe to be the underlying reason Carol Rainey disparages Linda Napolitano and Bud Hopkins? Of course, Carol Rainey, who passed away last year, she was the ex-wife of the late Bud Hopkins, and she played an integral part in this new docu-series that I've talked about in the last 2 episodes. And she obviously was skeptical. She was skeptical of Linda Napolitano, and she became skeptical of Bud Hopkins' alien abduction research over time. And I offered different reasons as to why she became skeptical. Okay, and let's see what the poll says. 2 people, or 13.3%, say the reason that she disparages them was due to ontological shock. 3 people, or 20%, say a desire for attention. 5 people, or 33.3%, say other. And another 5 people, or 33.3%, say jealousy. It could have been jealousy. I think that she might have been jealous of all the attention that her husband, Bud, was giving to Linda Napolitano in that case. But you know what? I'm actually going to go with the minority here, the 2 people that went with ontological shock. I think after time, Carol Rainey just couldn't accept the alien abduction scenarios. She just didn't believe it. I just think that she just could not accept it, and it was just too much for her. That's what I think. I think that's the case for a lot of people. I mean, when people are talking about this all the time, I mean, and there's no absolute evidence to present to show that this is real. Although there are some of these abductees have implants in them, just like Linda Napolitano did. But even Carol Rainey didn't believe that. She actually believed that Rainey believed that Napolitano actually hoaxed that, which I don't believe to be true one bit. But I think it was. I think it was ontological shock. That doesn't make me right, and we'll probably never know for sure what the main underlying reason was why she disparaged Linda Napolitano and also her husband. Okay, and then finally, for the episode, Elizondo faces backlash after presentation of mothership UFO image / Manhattan alien abduction update. I asked this question: should Lou Elizondo get behind the Las Vegas alien evidence? So far, there's 22 votes with 27 days left. 8 people, or 36.4%, say no, while 14 people, or 63.6%, say yes. I say yes. I mean, if you really truly want disclosure, why not get behind the best evidence we've ever had? I mean, it actually proves that we're not alone. It actually proves that there's an alien presence on this planet. No question about it. 100% guaranteed, like I've been saying. It's almost like like in the movie Casablanca, there was the letters of transit that the French resistance fighter leader needed to get his hands on, and the character played by Peter Lorre was going to sell them to him, and they were signed by General de Gaulle, and they couldn't be rescinded and not even questioned. That's the same thing with the Las Vegas alien stuff, because no debunker out there, they can't question it, they can't debunk it, there's nothing they can do about it, right? Because it proves it, right? That's the whole thing here. And you got behind that, there's nobody could do anything to you, right? Nobody's going to be able to debunk it. They're just, no one will, they can't. I mean, Mick West was offered $5,000 and he turned it down because he knows he can't debunk it. He's too afraid. He can't touch it because he knows there's nothing he could say. There's nothing he could do. Nobody could do anything. The Pentagon won't even respond to the letter that I sent them back in June. You know why? Because what are they going to say? But if Lou Elizondo got behind this, right? Say Elizondo and then Scott Roeder, both of them show up at the at some hearing, maybe down the road sometime, about UFOs in Congress. There you go. It's disclosure. And then you bring some people in from the Pentagon and you question them. You say, "Do you see this? Did you see this? Do you know about these things?" Right? Landing in people's backyard. What are they going to say? No, we never even heard of them. We didn't think it was real. Is that what they're going to say? Nobody's going to believe them. In fact, people are going to actually hope that they've been studying this and keeping it a secret for decades. You would force an end to this nonsense, to this gaslighting. You would force them to finally tell you the truth, We have the evidence. We have the evidence. It proves it. It's over. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Lou should get behind it. I think he should. I think a lot of people in the UFO community should get behind it. But you know what? You know, I don't understand why they're not. Anyway, I couldn't really understand why some people were saying no, but I did get a comment from Andrew Goldsmith on Spotify, and he says, thanks for the episode, Jim. I voted no on the poll for this episode, mainly because I believe Elizondo would try and spin the incident in a way to suit the agendas of those telling him what to say. Thanks again. See, a lot of people, like Andrew here, doesn't trust Lou Elizondo, and thinks that people are telling him what to do. I mean, is this all some big project to just slowly disclose it, like I was saying earlier? Is that what it is? To spoon feed us, spoon feed the public on this one little spoonful of Gerber baby food at a time? Is that what this is? Is that like because you're treating us like little kids, like a bunch of morons? Is that what it is? And is Lou part of that? You know, I don't think I believe that, but you know, I don't know. That's what some people are saying. I mean, Lou has there's a lot of people out there who don't trust him. I actually do trust him. I thought his book was very entertaining and very informative. But I still think, you know, I still don't understand why a lot of people, some of the bigger names in the UFO community won't get behind this. Ross Coulthart, Lou Elizondo, right? They know about it. Jeremy Corbell just blew it off, said it was harmful to the discussion, right? It's too sensational, right? I mean, why? It proves it. I mean, these people have been talking about it for you know, making documentaries on this, talking about it on TV, right? But here we finally have the evidence. But these people are, oh no. Let's look at these dark lights in the sky over the Mojave Desert, over some military base, and then it turns out to be flares. Let's look at that instead. Or let's present an image of some object, of a mothership in the sky, and it turns out to be nothing. It turns out to be potentially a chandelier reflection. With something like this, right, Lou Elizondo gets behind something like this, right? No one's going to be able to knock him off his perch this time. If he got behind something like this, he's going to go all the way. Nobody's going to stop him, right? No one would stop him. There's no one's going to be able to debunk it, right? And because then people will sit down and listen more to this whole story and understand that what happened in Las Vegas last year in 2023, on the late night of April 30th, early morning, May 1st, 2023, people are going to know that something did happen. Something very incredible happened. Some sort of a craft came down in someone's backyard and there were alien creatures traipsing around. We have them on video. We could see them. Right? They were using some kind of cloaking technology, obviously. Something very, very strange was happening there, and no one could disprove it. The video wasn't tampered with. There's no CGI. We know who filmed it. We know all the people involved. There was a 911 call. Police were there. There were people in four states that saw the object coming down. Right? This isn't some picture taken by somebody we don't know. We don't know. That has no context to it whatsoever. Right? We know all the players involved here. Get behind this. This could be used as a bulldozer to smash down this door and end this nonsense already. So anyway, I don't fully agree here with Andrew's comment, though. I really. I like Lou Elizondo. I read his book. I thought it was really good. I do think that maybe even for someone like him, this is too much. Maybe some people like James Fox, for instance, he knows about this, but he doesn't want to talk about it. Nobody out there in the UFO community, none of the bigger names that we know of, want to take a chance on the Las Vegas alien stuff. I don't understand why. And it has me wondering what's going on here. What is going on here? It proves it. It proves it better than anything else out there. You know, James Fox, for instance, did a whole documentary, Moment of Contact, about the Virginia case, right? The Vegas alien case blows that out of the water. Blows it out of the water. James Fox was unable to get any sort of images of those aliens. We don't have them. There's no video. We have some witnesses and stuff, but that's all you got. There's no proof to show people, to show the world that this is real. I mean, the aerial school incident, for as fascinating as it is, there's no imagery of the aliens that those 60 plus little kids saw, right? Here we have it. It's the best case out there. Nothing else compares, like I've been saying. And I don't understand why some of the big names in the UFO community are not getting behind this. Ross Coulter, where are you? What are you doing? I mean, yeah, I mean, are all these guys part of this slow disclosure process, like to eat your baby food? Is that what's going on? Or are they just afraid to dip their toe into this one? I don't get it. I'm just not understanding at all. And I know, you know what, here's the thing too, I know there's going to be some people out there who are going to take this, they're going to get mad at me for saying some of the things I'm saying here. And I don't even care. I don't even care. I'm being totally open and truthful here about how I feel about this. I'm being totally, I'm not hiding anything. So how could, well, I don't understand. I just telling you right now, I don't understand why these people are carrying on the way they are. Are they part of this? Are they part of this gaslighting effort? I mean, I don't understand the reasoning behind it. I don't know why they're wanting to drag this out. We could end this debate with this. This ends the debate. It should end the debate. Anybody who sits down and absorbs all of this evidence is going to walk away knowing that this proves it. There's no more arguments. The debunkers can't touch it. They're unable to say anything about it. They can't debunk it. So that's where I'm at with this. I just want to make that clear. And I don't, like I said, I don't really care what anybody thinks about what I do or what I think. I'm being totally honest and truthful about this, and I don't understand why a lot of the big names haven't gotten behind this and why they're not talking about it. I don't understand people like Ben Hansen who just immediately just makes a decision on air, doesn't even consider the fact that Scott Roeder has been a video analysis expert for over 30 years and just got done telling him on News Nation, and then when he was on News Nation earlier this year, both of them were on at the same time, and he just got done telling him that this proves that there was no CGI at it. There was anomalous creatures in that backyard. There's no question about it. But yet Hansen immediately goes right to that's such a leap. It's just shadows. No, it's not. It wasn't shadows. Those people said they saw aliens in the backyard, and that video shows aliens like I've showed over and over and over again. Multiple different things are back there, more than even the people themselves had witnessed. But anyway, we could end this if the world out there, if people in the world saw this and more people were exposed to this would be over. Everyone would know for a fact that we're not alone in this world. So I don't understand why the bigger names in the UFO community aren't getting behind this. Anyway, that's all I got to say for today. I just want to say thank you all for joining me. Until next time.